Welcome to this week's assembly, and this week we're going to be focusing on the importance of relationships and the importance of being positive. Enjoy. And so today we will have the opportunity to celebrate some excellent remote learners. In particular, this week's Headmasters Awards go to Miles Davies and Thumbell. Miles was nominated by his DT teacher, who says, "I have been extremely impressed with the level of engagement that Miles shows during our online lessons, with his verbal contributions displaying insight and a deep level of understanding. Miles displays a true passion for the subject and strives to develop his subject knowledge, honing his skills in his project work. Some of the work that he has produced for the Interlocking Spaces assignment has been of an undergraduate level." On the other hand, Thumbell was nominated by her art teacher, and Miss Heaps says, "I would like to nominate Thumbell for the Headmasters Award. She has made an outstanding start to her art coursework project. Her tonal drawings are of an exceptional standard. She is not only completing the work that has been asked for of her, but is going the extra mile by producing even more wonderful tonal drawings in her own time. She has used her own first-hand research from her travels to Russia, where she was able to take her own photographs from which to work. Thumbell has shown her true commitment and talent in the subject, and her remarkable skills are truly commendable." Fantastic work to Miles and Thumbell, and a real representation of the hard work that you both are doing, how much of a difference that makes to the outcomes. We would also like to give Ryan Donnelly a special mention, because Ryan has really impressed his biology teacher with his commitment to remote learning and the way he's done that so well. It's the fact that he always shares his ideas on Zoom and is always keen to ask questions to clarify anything, and that's exactly the sort of engagement that we're looking for with online learning in order to make the most of these lessons. On the slide that follows, there are some beautiful examples of Thumbell's work, and you can see why Miss Heap felt it was important for her to be nominated and to receive an award this week. They are absolutely stunning, Thumbell. Finally, from me, a thought for this particular week. January is still a dark and quite bleak month in some ways, and it's really easy for us to end up losing hope. I really like the artist Charles McKeesey, who has written The Mole, the Fox and the Horse. And here is an image from that book where it says, "Those are dark clouds," said the boy. "Yes, but they will move on," said the horse. "The blue sky above never leaves." And so for our assembly this week, I want us to focus on the idea of staying positive. The fact that we can't control the situation around us is not something that brings us great delight, but what we can and must do is control how we feel about it. We can't control the behaviour of others, we can't change people's choices, but the way we choose to respond to it, the way that we see it, the way that we think about it, the way that we interpret it, and how we behave towards others is the choice that we have to make. And finally, this idea of choice, how we choose to view our lives and our individual situations now and at any other time, will determine how we remember them and how we learn from them and what we learn from them. So when you are going through the day, when things are difficult, remember that if you can see them from a positive perspective, if you can take the best out of them and know that whatever is happening at the moment is only transitory, and that the more positive we are, the better the impact that we have on other people, then hopefully it should make your lives a lot easier as well. And finally, another image from Charlie, which I really like, and summarises what I've been saying, which is one of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things. I wish you a wonderful week.
Hello everyone, Mr Quartermain's asked me to talk to you today about relationships and just to say a few words on relationships. And I thought I'd just spend a few minutes talking to you about how my experiences over the last year have influenced my views on relationships, but also to talk a little about why relationships are so important to what we do and who we are as a school community. Now, talking to people over the last year, family, friends, colleagues, students, I think a lot of us have done a great deal of thinking about our lives and about what's really important to us. And that's not just because we've had a lot of time to sit around thinking, but because the nature of the pandemic, the way that it's enforced isolation for us at various different points, that it's forced us to stay at home and to only see people and talk to people through screens like I'm doing to you now, has denied us the opportunity to do so many of those things which I think for a lot of us make life worthwhile and worth living. Spending time with our loved ones, with our family and our friends, enjoying special occasions, sort of marking key milestones in our lives. And because we've been unable to do that, at least for a lot of the time, I think it's really brought home to us just how important those relationships are. And it's really made clear to us that those relationships give our lives meaning, sustain us, and bring us joy. And I think a huge number of us will come out of this experience with a real commitment to, I suppose, reprioritising those relationships and those connections. And relationships are fundamental to what we do as a school. Rossall is a physical place, for sure, but it's only a very small part of who and what we are. At heart, Rossall is a community. The relationships between students, staff, parents, they make us what we are. As teachers, for example, in the classroom, we all know that the quality of the relationship, the positive relationship between students and staff, is massively important in ensuring that students meet their potential and achieve well academically. But as a school, relationships have much more importance beyond the kind of simple metrics of academic achievement. Okay, coming to somewhere like Rossall isn't simply about achieving well in your GCSEs, your IB, your A-levels, your Rossall diploma. It's about so much more than that. It's about exploring your interests, discovering new things, whether that's in music, sports, CCF, or one of the other activities that we offer. It's about making new friends. It's about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's about discovering who you are as a person, what you're passionate about, what you want to do in the future, the young man, the young woman that you want to become. And it's relationships that help us to do those things. Reflecting on this, after Mr Quartermain asked me to speak, I thought about my own experiences. Rugby's something that's been massively important to me in my life. It's given me so much. I only took that up because when I was in year 10, my friend Danny told me that he thought I should come along to training with him. The music I listened to, okay? The Jam, The Clash, Sam Cooke, The Smiths. I only enjoy these things because my GCSE English teacher, Mr Taylor, introduced them to me. My love of history and politics that's brought me a lot of pleasure and a lot of joy in my life, I was inspired to become interested in by my sixth form teacher, Dr. Robertson. So it's important for us to remember the central importance of relationships to who we are, what we do, and all that we can be. And it's important that we seek not just to sustain these relationships during these difficult times, but to build them. Think about things at the moment. On site, house parents, resident staff are working phenomenally hard for our boarders and those students whose parents are key workers. Students on site, in the local area, all over the world, are making teachers smile in their kitchen, in their spare rooms, in their studies, by thanking them at the end of every lesson, every revision session, every enrichment activity. all over the world, students are competing to try and beat Mr. Simmons' very impressive time on his 1K run. These things mean that though we're not together at the moment, we can, through adversity, strengthen our relationships with each other so that we emerge from these challenges, from these very difficult times, with a better understanding of who we are, what makes us special, and a stronger community and better relationships than ever before. Thank you.